will be making this parandi. So I've already made one. So I'll be using acrylic yarn and a 3.5mm crochet hook. So let's get started. We're going to place a slip knot. So we're going to chain 8. Now for the leaf, you're going to chain 4. Skip the first stitch, go into the second chain, single crochet, yarn over, yarn over, double crochet into the next stitch, and then single crochet into the next stitch. So now I'm going to go around this leaf at the bottom and place a slip stitch. Now chain 10, so you're going to alternate between 10 and 15 stitches in between. So you will chain 15 chains when you want to add your flower. So wherever you're going to add your flower, you can chain 15 stitches, and otherwise you can just chain 10 and then have a leaf in between. So you can space it however you want it, and you can make it as long as you want it as well. So after I chain 10, I want to chain 4. This is for the leaf. Skip my first chain, go into the second, place a single crochet, double crochet, and again single crochet, and then go around the leaf at the bottom, and then go around the leaf and slip stitch. So now I'm going to chain 15. And now you're going to continue with the same leaf pattern. You are going to chain 4 extra, skip the first chain, and then single crochet in one chain, double crochet in the next chain, and single crochet in the next chain. So now I'm just going to go around at the bottom of this leaf and place a slip stitch, and then continue with chaining 10 or 15 depending on however you want to space it. So if you're going to add the flower, you space it with 15 stitches. If not, you can just have 10 stitches, something like this. So wherever I've added the flower, 15 chains. If not, you can just place 10. So on one, I have placed about 4 flowers. So on this one, I chained 8, 10, and then I chained 15. And then again I chain 10 and then 15 where the flower is. So now I'm going to change it up a little bit on this. So we did 8, 10, and instead of doing again 15, I'm going to do 8 and then continue it, just alternating so that the flowers are alternating on each strand. So that's completely up to you if you want to do it like that or not. Place the last leaf and then chain 10. And then now you're going to place another slip stitch, and instead of cutting it off, you're just going to leave this long open loop and cut the other end off. So now here we are going to put in our tassels. So now we have finished this. So you're gonna make 3 of these. So now let's make the flowers. You're gonna make a magic ring. Chain 2. For this I'm using a 3mm crochet hook. And then in the magic ring itself you're going to place 2 double crochets. Chain 2 and slip stitch into the magic ring. Chain 2, 2 double crochets. Chain 2 and slip stitch into the magic ring. So that's 2 petals. So you're going to continue this and you're going to make about 4 or 5 petals depending on your preference. I'm going to make 5. And then you're going to slip stitch into this chain 2. Now you're going to cut it off. Now you're going to close this magic loop. You'll have a small hole here. If you want you can keep it, if not you can just pull it a bit tighter. And it will close. So that's the flower you're going to make. You can make in any colors you want. So I've made quite a few in yellow and pink. And the loop which we left in the beginning, we're going to add a tassels in here. So for the tassels, I'm going to take your yarn. I'm going to take about 10 inches. As to continue this, you have your tassel ready. So I'm going to use 2 colors, pink and yellow. So I'm going to do this with both the colors. And then you can just cut your loops. My tassels are ready here. So now the loop which we left in the beginning, you're just going to take your tassels and put it through the loop. Make sure your tassels are even. Now you're just going to pull this loop. So now you can just go around. And give this a knot. you're going to take one string, go around your tassel, and give it a knot. So now you're going to place that wherever you want it. Okay. Give it a good knot, go around and give it another 2-3 knots. Make sure it is tight and secure and doesn't come undone. Okay, so once you're done with this, make sure you're happy with how it looks. And this one you can give it another knot. I like to go in with a needle. Just to make it secure enough. I'm just going to go through the stitch. So your tassel is ready. So now you can just trim it in the end. So you're going to add this to all three. So now it's time to add the flowers. So wherever you have 15 chains, you're going to add a flower. I like to add the flower closer to the leaf, but you can add it wherever you want. On this lutkan, I have one flower here and then here, and these are your chain 15 spaces. So now we are going to add these flowers. So now I'm going to add my flower here. Make sure your chain is straight. So you're going to take both these tails and give it a couple of knots. So now with a smaller crochet hook, or you can use a darning needle, since both my threads are in this corner, I'm going to just go through a stitch at this corner here and pull through this thread. So I'm just going to go here. Okay. So I have one in this corner and one over here. So this is where I'm going to add my flower. So now I'm going to turn it, take my crochet hook, I'm going to go through the chain and okay. So now I'm going to go through the chain, pull through this, now on the other side as well. I'm just going to go through chain here and pull this through. Now I'm just going to give it a couple of knots. Okay, when you do that, the flower is more stable and it's not going to move. So now what I like to do is go through the center. So I'm using a smaller crochet hook and go through the chain as well. I'm going to pull this yarn through. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing with the other one as well. I'll go through center and pull this pink yarn through. Okay, so now you have both the tails in front. So now make sure your chain on the back is straight and not moved or turned over. Now you're going to take one of your tails and through one of the petals you're just going to pull it through. Okay, it'll blend in into the flower. Just make sure you're not pulling it too tight, and then closer to that chain you're going to pull the other one as well. So like this, your flower is straight, it's not going to move, and you can just tie a knot. Make sure you're not pulling it too tight. So if you pull it too tight, then you can see that yarn in front. So don't pull it too tight, just make sure it's tight but not too tight. And when you're tying the second knot, make sure it's tight. Okay. Now you can just give it a snip. Okay. So now even if you don't add your glue, it's going to stay straight. But if you still want to add your glue, you can go ahead and add it just to make it more secure. So like this, you're going to add your flowers. Wherever you have chain 15, you're going to add one flower. So this is my next flower. I'm just going to follow the same thing and add it. Finished adding the flowers and the tassels. Just going to take all three. And you're going to tie them together on top. So I'm going to take these two together and this one and give it a knot. Okay. So now just give all the threads a good pull. Now I'm going to split them the other way around and give it another knot. Okay, so once you're satisfied with that, you're just going to take a darning needle and weave in these ends through the chains. So I weaved in the ends and I have all three at the center. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add one flower on top. This is a bit bigger flower. So I'm just going to add one flower on top. I've used both the colors in this. So now I'm just going to add that in here. So you're going to follow the same thing. You're going to tie a knot. So I'm going to use a darning needle here just to make it easy. It's going to go right in the section. So now there are no bumps except for one knot there, and this is how the behind of the flowers look as well. Okay. So your parandi is ready. You can style it by braiding it into your hair. You can customize it in any color you want. Thank you so much for watching.